Hey guys, welcome to The Art of Comics. This is a special bonus episode, The Art of Film. I'm your host, Andres Salazar. Today we're going to talk about the fourth film in the series Matrix by the Wachowskis. It was just released both in the theaters and on HBO Max. I got a chance to watch it just now, and so I want to chat with you guys a little bit about it. First off, a couple just like off the top background elements. I worshipped Matrix number one. I was in college, it'll date me a little bit, in Santa Barbara, and I saw it in the theater. No one knew anything about it. You know, they knew the cover, they knew there was kind of a cool black outfit and some green digital background. That's it. That's all we knew. And it blew me away. I don't know how many times I've seen it, how many times I've memorized it. I had just gotten a DVD player around that time too, and I bought the DVD. I mean, I watched this thing all the time. This thing was like heavy rotation. Huge fan of the Wachowski brothers, everything that they were doing. They did, 2 and 3, not as strong. 2's probably better than 3. Some good scenes, good kind of like choreography and sequences into, but it does get bogged down with a lot of the overly complex characters, the architect, the keymaster, the French not Malevakian, but it's Malevachian or something like that. It just became really complex and maybe overtly so. But that said, it was Matrix, right? I was a fan, but yeah. Now, the Animatrix is brilliant. If you have not seen Animatrix, I don't know where to see it streaming. I'm always seeing, like swap meets and stuff. That is a brilliant like anthology of some of the top animators in the field doing these short stories. Most of them, I think, are like historical or connective tissue with things before the first movie and then between the movies. It is really good. So high marks on those. So now, 2021, Matrix 4 comes out, Matrix Resurrection. What do we think? Well, this is mostly Lana Wachowski's baby, I would say, out of the two Wachowski now sisters. And there is a little bit of that women empowerment feel to it. And hang on, spoiler. I'm going to spoil the crud out of this right now. So, with the end being Trinity is like kind of like equal power to Neo. I'm fine with that. Even the ending song goes out with Rage Against the Machine cover band, which is this brass band. And a female singer. I mean, there's just these little elements of like women empowerment. I just got to say that. I'm not saying it's a bad or negative or positive, but I think clearly, after the Wachowskis kind of did their change in gender or preference, maybe some of those internal things got on the film. Not a bad thing, but it's a thing. This is a Matrix movie. If you do not like Matrix, don't watch it. This is the same recipe. It's the same, which is not a bad recipe, but it's that recipe. So I would say those who love Matrix will like this. It's gonna go for them. Those who never liked it or didn't see it, I would say go see the first one. And if it's your cup of joe, then do this. There are many callbacks to the first movie. There's a couple of sequences. There's actually like they redo scenes where we see it again. And then there's sequences where they do callbacks in choreography. There's moments where the choreography is the same and all that stuff. So if you know the movies, if you know the first one especially, I think you'll get a kick out of it. A couple things also to mention. We've got a younger Agent Smith and a younger Morpheus. Viggo Mortensen and Fishburne were not cast in this film. I was hoping somehow they'd be at the end, or it was, they just kept that on the wraps and no one really knew the truth. But they're not in there. I think primarily age. I mean, they're both 60, and so they're both like not able to do that freaking choreography. I mean, I think as simple as that. And we want it younger. It would look weird to have them doing the choreography. You'd have to have stuntmen all the time. So they get these young guys. They get these young 28-year-olds to do it. And at first I was hesitant because Fishburne is so critical to that role. I was like, but it's okay. Halfway through the movie, he's barely even in the Matrix world. He's mostly in the real world, which as a computer program, he's just kind of a digitized thing, so that's fine. Which I'm a little confused about that. So please comment below, explain to me. Morpheus died, and this is a computer simulation with his experience or soul or something. That's where I'm getting confused. Like, how is he Morpheus? How is this agent who's kind of gone rogue become Morpheus? There was a line where something about Neo put him there in the modal. The modal is this little like sub program routine that's used to experiment and kind of like test things out. Somehow he put Morpheus in there as a computer thing, copy or something. I don't know. There's a little bit of confusion. I don't quite get it. With the Smith character being younger, that's fine. I mean, because that's fine. What do I really like about this film? What stood out? It was extremely meta. Like, this film is so meta about making film, and it's all couched in this making a video game. So Matrix is this world-renowned, critically acclaimed video game series, The Matrix. And Thomas Anderson, Neo, is the designer of this game. And so we go into in the Matrix world where it's a video game, everyone knows about it, he's this kind of hotshot video game designer, and we see this beautiful little montage in the beginning, first act, where we see them designing game and his like daily life, all done through the tune of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit. And it's really kind of fun because you see like this is so meta about film industry. They talk about Matrix 4 and what is it going to be, and it's about binary, and it's about bullet time, and all these kind of like elevator pitches and buzzy stuff and trying to hit the market just right. You can see that they're using all their experiences in filmmaking to say these things in this film, really breaking that fourth wall, but couching it under a video game, the video game making process. I thought that was really, really fun and really cool. Everything was about choice, like the other films. And The Matrix has always been about kind of philosophy, right? It's philosophy, encircled around an action film, right, with lots of bullets and guns. And so freedom of choice, binary decision making, and there were some comments too about that, about how maybe that's a misnomer, or maybe we shouldn't think of things as just binary options, black and white, red and blue, ones and zeros, but that there's more it's more delicate. There's more things to think about. It's more nuanced, life is. And I thought that was kind of another like interesting take on society today. There's a lot of moments where you think, oh, this is kind of not just about the game or the Matrix movie, but it's about us. It's about our choice, our free will, what we accept as reality, and it kind of commenting on what we're going through. So I thought that was kind of poignant and current. As usual, starts with a great action sequence, a lot of questions. We don't know what the heck's going on. It takes a while to kind of like figure out the deal. But the second half of the movie really is action-y, Matrix-y, full on. The first half I thought was very interesting. It's different. We don't really understand what's going on, and I kind of liked that. But once we kind of once we got into the plot, it was just pretty much, okay, this is the plot, right? Neil Patrick Harris did a wonderful job as kind of the bad villain, the analyst, kind of a therapist character, who I'm assuming is kind of like the architect, right? But this is of this kind of Matrix world, which leads me to question this. This Matrix world, or this, it almost felt like there's other matrices, that there are these matrices that are, this one, but that there could be somewhere else another type of Matrix world. Which then, so they're not all hooked up to this one connection. There's like other little worlds. Then I thought, okay, then why isn't there like a Sword Art Online type of version? Which, if you don't know, is the manga about this MMORPG that is a fantasy world. So, sorry, my hands are super big when I do this. Why isn't there a Matrix world that's not set in this reality world, but in a fantasy world like Skyrim, Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of stuff, Tolkien? Could there be one? Because if they're all plugged in and they all think that's reality, then the reality doesn't need to be reality. It could be whatever that is. And then that opens up a whole nother can of worms, which I think would be really interesting to see. Is there are these other matrix or dimensions, what do you want to call them, that have another set of rules or, genre. You can have a horror matrix. You could have a fantasy matrix. You can make it very genre. It might lose the Matrix flavor, though, because Matrix is so connected with machine guns, patent leather, sunglasses. That's like the three, symbols of Matrix. So it would be very different. But I don't know, kind of interesting idea. Anyway, my final thoughts, and it's been 12 minutes, so more than enough time. I liked it a lot. I thought it was very good. I wouldn't mind going to see it in the theater. I actually saw it at home, which is kind of lame, but it's raining cats and dogs, so I didn't want to do that. If you like Matrix like me, I thought it was very good. I thought the action was great. Story was fine. Not super innovative and new, but enough to really keep me interested. I do like the video game element. I do like the social commentary, but it wasn't super down your throat. I do like that Trinity is kind of a badass too and equal on his level, and a little bit of empowerment there. I ain't got a problem with none of that. I thought that was all fine. So there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think of Matrix Resurrection. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. If you want to see what I'm doing, check out my other channels. I have one called The Outgroove about music. I also have my personal channel. Do all kinds of stuff there. And, I'm doing my thing. So thanks, guys.